Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hope everything's going good for you. I hope you're doing better than you did yesterday. That's kind of the plan for this. Been sitting here talking, 171 podcasts, been talking about what you need to do. Really, in the end, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to trying to find a way to give you the opportunities that I've had, give you the motivation to wake up and actually just capture something that you haven't done, that you haven't experienced, that you've always wanted, that's connected to who you are. Not to the national story about what success is, but about what you define success as. I was sitting there thinking about it. I'm thinking, it's probably not fair for me to be pushing on you like that, to be trying to obligate you to take action that you're not ready to take. And I get it. It takes courage. It does. It takes courage to go beyond where you are, to step into new places that you're unfamiliar with, or to do things that change what you do every day. Even small things like Sandy and I, we've talked about going and doing dance classes. And I think there's a part of us that are just kind of hesitant to do that simply because we don't have the courage to actually step into that realm yet. And so it hasn't become important to us, or at least that's the best part of it. The other part of it is you haven't built up a big enough story or a good enough story about why it's important to have those classes, to do those classes, right? So where do you find the courage? Well, first of all, let me bring you back around to you. Do you see yourself or view yourself as courageous? You're courageous in your life? Most people really don't. I guess for the longest time I didn't either, but I've come to the realization that we are courageous. We are all courageous. We already have a wealth of courage within ourselves. Because it takes courage to live life. It takes courage to wake up every day and face the life you live and do the things you do, not because you love them, but because that's what you have to do. And now we've come upon COVID-19 and an economic downturn, and then, of course, all the upheaval in the world. My God, it takes courage. It takes courage to go through the things that we go through on a daily basis. It takes courage to say goodbye to the people we love, or to watch our infants struggle for their breath, struggle for their life. It takes courage to go on after someone you love has died. It takes courage to find a way to not be angry at the people who could have done more to prevent it, at people who should have told a different story. It takes courage. And that's where you draw from when you're getting ready to change your life, when you've decided it's time to live your best life. It's the same courage that we face when we say goodbye to someone we love. It's the ability or the desire just to not let life get in our way, not let life squash us into nothing. It's standing up and it's pushing your chest out and it's saying, you know what, I will do this. My life will be lived. I will step forward. I will step into the light. You are courageous. I remember for the longest time, and I had a buttload of opinions. In fact, I carried a big old backpack of opinions around with me everywhere, and I had judgments and I could point out your shortcomings in a minute. So in a second, some people wouldn't even ask. I'd be like, well, I see what's wrong with your life. You're doing this and that and this and that and this and that. And I remember thinking about homeless people and how they'd sit around and they're lazy and they don't want to work. I couldn't have been farther off base. Do you know how much courage it takes to keep going when your bed is a sidewalk? How much courage it takes to wake up in the morning knowing that if you don't get some drugs, if you don't get heroin, or you don't get a bottle of wine or some alcohol in you, you're going to start having seizures. And to just keep going and going and going. And here we tend to demean that, or to be flippant about it when it comes to what is really going on. I guarantee you, that homeless dude on the corner, for whatever reason he is motivated to do the things he does, It isn't because it's easy. It isn't because he's living an amazing life. It takes courage. Well, change in his life takes courage too, just like change in your life. Where do you find that courage? It comes from within yourself. You won't find it looking at other people. You won't find it listening to other people. The way you find it is when you start that internal dialogue with yourself about what can be. Not what is, what can be. Where you can go. Stop looking at where you can't, what you can't do. Step into the light and look at the opportunities that are in front of you. Because I don't care where you are, there is an opportunity waiting for you. And the only reason people aren't capturing their opportunities is because they aren't looking for them. They're so consumed by where they are that they can't find the courage to stand up, to say, wait, no, I think I'm done. It's time for me to take action. It's time for me to do something more than I'm doing right now. And that takes courage. Sandy's watching my granddaughter today, and I'm going to be working on the rig. But she's getting ready to go, and I'm looking at her, and I'm just amazed at this woman that I'm married to. She gets all dolled up, and her hair's done, her makeup's on, and she's just beautiful. Now, she can't see that. But what I see in that and what's connected to that is it took courage to be married to me. It really did. I mean, it took courage for her to keep hanging on and waiting for me to change and praying that I would change and enduring that ugly person I used to be. And I'm so thankful. And when we talk about it, the thing that always comes back to is that we found the courage to make it work in not what we had, but what we believed we could have, and believed what we believed would be if we just continued to push forward and to work on it and to talk about it and to change ourselves, to have the courage to decide, you know what, it's time for me to be someone else. The wonderful part is you already have it. You already have everything you need right there. You have the courage. All you have to do now is use it. All you have to do now is say, today is the day, and I'm going to take the first step. And it's going to be scary, and I'm not going to be sure, and I'm not going to know everything I think I need to know, and I might be embarrassed, and I'm certainly going to be afraid, and then I'm going to do it anyway, because that's what courageous people do. See, that's the only difference between you and anyone who is doing what you would see as amazing things. I mean, there are some people who could never imagine putting themselves out there on social media and on the internet like I'm doing with this. I mean, not only am I doing a podcast, but I'm doing the videos on YouTube. And I can tell you, it takes courage. It takes courage to face the fact that sometimes I'm not going to be as good as I think I should be. But that can't stop me, to have the courage to not allow that to cause me to step back and miss a beat on this. Because, okay, maybe this podcast sucks. Okay, I get it. Maybe every so often I'm off my mark and I just can't seem to get it right, or I'm kind of talking in circles and the message is losing itself. Okay, I'm okay with that. Because the courage comes from knowing that there is the possibility, the distinct likelihood, that because of what I do every day, someone is going to wake up to a life that is comparable to mine, to a life filled with things they love to do. A life that is driven, it might be driven by struggle. You may have to work that sucky job, but that job doesn't suck nearly as bad when you get off of work and everything else in your life is friggin' amazing. It's because it's connected to you. It's funny. I didn't really truly embrace how much I love playing the guitar until I actually found the time to sit down and think about it. Sandy can't understand. She was like, "You're playing your guitar again?" I'm like, "Yeah, I usually play my guitar at least once a day for at least an hour a day. And I don't play anybody else's songs. I play my own music. What's the point in me doing other people's music? I just have never seen the value in it. It's about me. It's about my story. It's my songs. And I sing and I do my thing. And what's cool about it is I have the courage to believe that even when no one else thinks I'm any good, I think I'm a rock star. Because that's the story I've built around it. It's okay for me to sing, to hit a note off key. I'm going for it. It's okay for me to write silly ass songs that ain't going anywhere, that maybe no one will ever listen to. And in order to do that, it takes courage. Where is it going? I don't know. I don't have any clue where it's going. Like a lot of the things we're doing. It's about having the courage to show up. This podcast, it still takes courage. Every once in a while I think, God, are they really listening to me? Am I really saying what I need to say? Am I really just coming out there with it so they can connect with who I am and what I'm trying to say? And I guess in the end, I have to accept that you are. That you keep coming back, and there's a reason. It's because you do want to live a better life. You do want to wake up and have something in your life that is energizing, that excites you, that gives you a destination that is better than where you are right now. This life you're living right now is simply a landing pad. And as soon as you gain the courage, as soon as you dig into your courage and you find that energy you need, you will launch your life to the next level. What does that look like? You have the courage to try and find that. The question is, will you? Some people won't. Some people will not do it. Some people are so set in the idea about what success looks like that you would never get them to admit that there's any way they can make their life better. And granted, it's an abstract concept. I mean, how many generations have the ideas that we've been being fed to us and shared with us and told to us? I mean, look around at all the examples of people who live lives just like your parents did, just like your grandparents did, and just like you do. The world is full of them. How do you look at that and think, well, this can't be right? And then it doesn't help that when you say that, people go, oh, you're crazy. You're going to sell your house and start traveling around the country so you can spend time kayaking and riding your mountain bike and doing all kinds of fun stuff. That's crazy. Is it really crazy? Is it really crazy when you sit back and you look at what you're going to do today? Takes courage. Takes courage to want to wake up every day energized by things that you've never done before. Takes courage to step beyond the walls of your life into some place you've never been before. And you've got that courage. You've got the courage to it. You are courageous. So stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop putting it off. Start defining it. Start talking to yourself about the things that you love, about the things you want to see in your life, about how you're going to take your life and launch it to the next level. And keep that conversation going every day. And I guarantee you're going to wake up one day and you're going to go, hell yeah, look what I did. And it's going to be amazing. I guarantee it. I am the prime example. You can listen back. You can contact me. You can ask me questions. I would love to share on a personal level with you. I can tell you how it's done, and the recipe is always the same. Pick amazing things that inspire you, and you'll always have the fuel to achieve them. And that's really where the ticket is, and you can't be afraid of it because you are courageous. So keep that in mind, and as always, just remember, today is your day. Make it a good one.